All right, guys. Good morning. Good morning. I want to make this quick video. I was going to make this last night, but figured I'd make it today, right? It's Monday, and my plate is kind of like almost empty. Like I even thought about having another baby. Like that's how empty my plate is at this point, right? So I was like, okay, maybe I should make some more money, or I should help some more people, or do some more stuff because at this point, it was like, oh, okay. I thought about having another. I was like, should I have another baby? It wasn't as expensive as I thought it was. You know, um, the topic of the day that I'm going to be talking about, or at least in this video, is basically I forgot more than I actually remember, and I've been doing magic so long, I actually forgot how to do marketing sometimes, right? So what am I talking about? Okay, I was a little up late last night. I had treated myself to some almond, chocolate almonds, right? um, I was doing some thinking the other night, and I was like, man, like I'm looking at some of this astro theology as well as synchronism and stuff like this. Like I'm probably going to be studying this for the next like couple months, maybe like 8 or 9 months. I have Chat GPT here, like loading all the data up for me, and let's see. I don't even know how long this will take. This will take what? So the research just got done, so we're looking at man, just a whole long thing. It'll probably take me like an hour or something like that to go through it or whatever, right? And the reason why is because I mean this all just comes down to the same principles: just being a better person, being your higher self, having integrity, not backstabbing. It's like the same thing. Just be a good person, right? Like all the Bibles like that. All the belief systems are like that. They just tell different stories about it, right, from different perspectives, but it's like the same thing. Okay, and why? Because it matters. Okay, no, sorry. It matters, okay? This stuff matters, right? Now, what do I mean? And then we'll talk about the video, okay? I mean because basically you got to be like qualified in order um, to enter like the real room. You got to be qualified to enter the real room. If you are not qualified and you're trying to enter the real room, you're essentially trying to get something that you don't really deserve. That makes sense. Let me make sure I'm live here. Okay, you're trying to get something you really don't inherently deserve. Okay, now what do I mean by that? Um, you ever see the people who basically like get positions that they're really not qualified for? It's obvious that they have a relationship with somebody, which is makes sense, but you would think that they would eventually get qualified so that way they won't be found out that they, work the system or whatever, right? Sometimes these people never figure out what to do. So then they end up basically destroying the whole business or destroying the company or destroying whatever. It's also like a man. Like now that I'm older, I would not want my daughter to get married to anybody under 30. Nobody under 30, I would say no. Even if she was in her 20s or she's 25 or 6 or something like that, the guy would have to be over 30. And it's because basically you have to show that you have money. You have to show that you can take care of my baby. You have to show that you can do all these things, and you got to show that you're a man, right? That you figured this out. And if you're not to figure that out, at least in your mid 30s, then you really don't have any business talking to at least my kid, right? Maybe somebody else's kid or whatever, but I'm not going to do that, and I'm not going to let my daughter just marry for love and all this other stuff, right? Because that's not really the answer. It's not really about money per se, but it's just about being qualified. Okay, it's about being qualified, and sometimes people want to skip that process of being qualified. I know I did. I know I did. I got tired of grinding and trying to figure out what's really going on, and but it paid off. It paid off for me, and my life is okay. It's getting better too, but things would have been better if I took time and understood how the process worked. Right. So anyway, how does this have to do with the fact that I've actually learned more? Um, I forgot more than actually I remember. Okay. So eventually, there's this guy. What was his name? Stefan Meshcook, I think his name is, or whatever. I'm not really sure of his name, but he's on YouTube, and he basically teaches people how to do coding. And I learned how to do coding, believe it or not. I know how to code as well. So I know how to do software development, even though I'm not really like good. I know what I'm doing, right? I don't know about the job. I don't know what it's. I just know, okay, yeah, I know how to do it, right? And then eventually, um, I could build a website and stuff like that, yeah, but it's like, come on, like that's like nothing. I'm talking about like a program, whatever. It takes a little bit more effort, and a little bit of more planning and some know-how. But anyways, there's this thing that he said one time that really stuck with me. That was that basically, like a karate master, you're going to basically learn. I'm sorry, in the beginning, nobody's a master, so you just learn all the fundamentals. As you learn the fundamentals, then you go to the techniques. As you start to go through the techniques, then finally you start to get like your own flow, and as you get your own flow, then as a master, you start to eliminate all of the other information because it doesn't really matter anymore, because you're just trying to pick the best moves, right? You don't need to use all the techniques, you don't need to use all the strategies, you just need to use the best moves. And that's what I've been doing over the years, right? Like that's why I talk about hypnosis, magic, and like, there's all these like tricks you can use to get sales and stuff like this, but it's like there's really not really a point to doing it. You don't have to do that. You can just talk to the person, be a trusted advisor, and be the expert. You don't really have to. Um, I mean, it helps to understand these things and how people process information, their emotional state, and all the other stuff. But like, that's like a part of the necessary move set of getting the sale, right? It's just talking to people ultimately, right? It's just hearing them, identifying with them. Um, Reconfirming what they already believe, and then telling them, hey, look, here's an option, and would you be interested in this option, because I think this would be a better suited thing for you, seeing how, basically you're the expert and you're giving them guidance. That's really all it is. And I think that is too simple sometimes for people, because it's like, like, how do you sell that, right? How do you sell this? How do you convince somebody to get into the door and tell them that there's like this secret magic method, and the method is really just you discovering that there's no method. Is just talking to people and being the expert, right? When you're the actual expert, you understand what's happening, you understand why they're on a call, what reason they're on a call. You're not just having calls, and you're not trying to talk to everybody. So if the marketing has to be done properly too. So anyways, the point is that eventually you start letting go of some of the techniques. There's a lot of techniques in real estate that are used to buy houses, right? You can use strategies to buy houses with no money. You can use strategies to buy houses with 10% down, with no interest loans, USDA loans. There's like all these different like options. Eventually you find what space you like to do in real estate. I like the seller financing space. It took me a while to find that out, but I just started doing that. I was like, okay, well, I like this. So then you start to forget all the other things I've learned about, like, doing flips and all this other stuff. And I never really did a full flip because it's stupid. So I was just like, okay, I'm just either going to wholesale, or I'm going to or I just fix it up a little bit, right? I'm not just pay a contractor to go in there and fix up the basic shit, and then that's it, right? I'm not doing ground up construction, man. Come on, right? But it took time for me to discover like that. I'm like, oh no, I'm actually like an investor. I'm not like this. I'm not a construction company. Took me a long time to know that too. You know what I'm saying here? Because it's not for me, right? I'm more deal with the paper. Okay, I'll sell you the house and just give me 25,000 down, and then give me $500 a month. That sounds good. I had to make those numbers up, right? And ultimately, like, what I'm trying to say here is that there's just so many different things that you're going to learn during the course of your career as well as your life, but you're probably not really going to use all of them. You're just not going to use all the moves. I learned so many different things in IT about switches, routers, networking, technology. I've learned a lot about a lot, and I've rarely used any of it. Right, like I was rarely using any of it at the job. And but that's really what's required of you to actually be an expert. You have to know a wide range of things. You have to know a wide range of topics and things to then decide how you're going to put together a situation, right? And eventually, the star model. I said the star. There's this thing in networking called topology. There's this basically called the star topology. That's where you have one switch in the middle, or like a router in the middle, and then everything else is like routed through the switch or the switter, right? And I was like, oh, this is just better, right? And it's just simple. It was like real easy for considering the local so basically when I was at my old job, I was at one of the local sites, right? This was a company who basically bought behavioral health sites, and I was working at the local one, and I never really understood how it was like how it was set up, which people didn't know either at corporate America, but they acted like they knew for sure, but they didn't really know. They never been on site, they never really examined anything. So anyway, I was on there, and I'm like learning all this stuff locally, switches, routers, servers, and all this other like bullshit that I've learned over the years. And um I'm like, how is this stuff set up? And it'll be like one thing connected over here is connect, and it's like, okay, you got to go through all this loop here just to get here. It's like, yeah, like why? That doesn't make any sense, right? So, and then you have the camera server guys. They're the guys who set up the cameras, and there's like other stuff too. And they would set up their own um camera system a certain way, and I was like, what's going on here? What is going on here? So like basically everybody was doing everything, and eventually you had to come up with a design. I'm like, okay, well look, let's just do what's wrong with this. I like this star topology. Yeah, but Carl's like, what about the cameras? The cameras need to come back home to the main server. I'm like, why do they need to do that for? Like, do they have to do that? Can we just put like little nodes on each switch near the most cameras? Can we just do that? Yeah, we could. I mean, I was like, but then you got some other tech head that's trying to use every technique that they learned. Oh well, we'll use. There's this. I think it was called port channel. Like you have to use this thing called port channel to increase the bandwidth on the sites, and now you can do more bandwidth on the pipes, and you're getting 40 gigs of pipe, and it's like I'm like, why? Like, okay, I get this, and it sounds cool, but what's the point in doing all this stuff when it just makes it harder to manage? It makes it harder to utilize, and it's just more difficult for the person. Like, how do we even tell them what to do at that point? Like, how do you communicate to this person at the local site that, hey, look, you have port channel between both switches and this, that, and it's like, how do you, like, you can't even have a conversation like that. You know what I'm saying here? It's better to keep this stuff very simple and straightforward, which is how I do everything. Very simple and straightforward. It was too simple and straightforward. I think they had to add some complexity for job security. That's what people will do at corporate America. They'll make things more difficult for like no reason. I just never seen the point, right? You put the camera server closest to the camera, so it'll be like I mean, it doesn't really matter. I guess it's just stupid information, but it's just one of those things where it was just a very simple solution and nobody wanted it. And what they wanted was this hyper complex, difficult thing. So that way, when things broke, it was like this whole difficult process to figure out what broke, what got disconnected, how does it disconnected, and that everybody's being alerted that something got disconnected. So, oh, we got to go fix this thing. And it was like they were deliberately creating issues on purpose to probably to have job security. But anyway, the point is that there was like no point in remembering that information. And because you didn't really need it. Half of this stuff you don't really need. Half of this stuff you don't need. It's just about figuring out what you don't need and what's real. That's like what makes a difference. And over time, like I was watching, which is basically why I'm talking about this in the first place. I don't really have any more programs to buy or training to buy. I am going to buy this customer. I'm going to buy this customer experience thing. I might just buy that for a year, and I'll keep dealing with Kimrick as well as which is like persuasion and all this other sales stuff. And then there is there's like one other person I might buy or whatever, but it's like I don't really need this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because I know better now, right? The right answer is to go work with somebody, talk with them, hire them, pay them 5,000 or whatever the bullshit number that they need, 10,000. Just make sure I'm getting my money's worth, right? That's it, right? Is worth $10,000 to get all my questions answered? Yeah, yes, it is, right? A good example before I go into the marketing stuff is that like I'm learning about this astrotheology right now, and it'll probably take me like a couple weeks or whatever. While I'm learning about this for this lady, she does a shadow work package, 4 sessions. I'm sorry, she does 6 sessions for $660. Okay, and that's around I think maybe like an hour a piece, right? So what's that? 6 hours of information of directed answers after I've already done my research. So now it's just about parsing the data. You get it? It's just about parsing the data, so that way I don't have to like look at any more stuff. And was it worth $600? That's going to save me what time to not knowing what's going on, yeah, why not, right? It's the same thing with marketing, right? Or business or whatever. So if I'm trying to learn how to buy a business, why not just pay somebody to show me how to buy a business while I'm doing it? Yeah, I'm buying my first business, or I buy my second business, or whatever it is. Or let's say you're new. If you're buying your first business, right? If you're going to buy a business, just hire the person to guide you through the process, but you still have the education of what you want to do. You still get to choose the business that you want to buy. You still get to choose all the stuff, but the person guides you through the steps by steps in order to make it make sense for you, right? That's worth like $20,000. Why not? If you're borrowing bank financing, just build it into the cost, right? If you're buying your first piece of real estate, just have somebody there with you. What's like like when you really understand how this stuff works, it just really doesn't really make any sense why people are having issues, but it's because they've been brainwashed to think that you're supposed to do it on your own instead of just being smart and just saying, hey, yeah, like I'm going to work on teams with somebody. If you're having a baby, why not just hire an expert that can be there with you for the first couple of months? They can guide you through the process, and she can mentally prep you. Right? I'm pretty sure she'll do that for like imagine it. You're paying $15,000, $20,000 or $30,000 anyway to deliver a baby is bullshit number. But let's just say you're paying that much, an extra $3,000 for that whole month. Like, yeah, just $3,000. Sit with us for the whole month. Tell us everything we need to know. You know what I'm saying here? And then you're going to forget all the things that you thought you knew. You don't need a stroller. You're not going to need, because we use a stroller maybe like 5 times. 5 times. We use a stroller 5 times. That rest time I just carried her. I'm like, yeah, I'm just going to carry her. Like, what's the point in, like, what are you really doing outside with somebody under 1 years old anyway? The baby needs to be inside before it gets like sick. I've seen this one lady outside carrying her baby around the sun and stuff. The baby's like, dude. It's like, what are you doing? It's, anyways, that the point I'm trying to make here is that even in marketing, like I'm watching some training that I paid for like some time ago, and there's a lot of techniques, there's a lot of mechanisms, there's a lot of like all this other stuff, and it really doesn't really matter at the end of the day. The only thing that matters is that you're having conversations with people, and you're seeing if they're qualified for you. That's the real thing. How you do it is up to you, and it's up to what's going to get the best conversion. Once you learn how to do conversion rate optimization, basically you learn how to basically like make the web page better, do your sales message better, and that's pretty much it. It's like it's not really like much to this stuff, but the hard part is knowing how to look at it because you're going to forget more. I'm like, oh yeah, because I remember like all the time. I'm like, you can buy houses with like 3% down. Like yeah, like oh wow, okay, that's good. It's good to know. And you're like, wait, I buy houses with no money down. Why would I need to do that? Because you start to forget the stuff that doesn't make sense after a while because you're like, oh yeah, I forgot you can do that. Because these are like there's different ways of doing things for different people. If you're at your job and you want to use 3% down, then okay, this is an option. If you have a family and you do this right, like even the house hacking thing, I forgot people do house hacking. I haven't heard about that in like so long. Because I've been doing the marketing and all the other stuff, but I haven't heard about house hacking in such a long time. And I'm like, why would you house hack again? Okay, you're trying to get your first house and you just want to live there. Okay, why would you do that when you could just get the deal in and then just buy the house or whatever? You know what I'm saying? Like you start to forget, and you're like, why would you? You start questioning yourself. You start like, okay, well, am I dumb or something? And that's just a part of the process. You start to forget, and like even some of the marketing stuff. Like I was watching Dan Kennedy earlier, right? Which has been like so long since I watched him, right? I used to do a marathon every year with Dan Kennedy, and I stopped because I was doing Kenrick and all the other stuff I was doing, and he was like, "Yeah, guilt tripping, just guilt tripping." Good. I was like, "Oh yeah, I forgot about this. This is like all the funny stuff, right?" And this stuff works, but you really don't have to guilt trip anybody. It helps, but you don't have to. Depends on how. This just depends on what kind of business you're running and what you're doing for the business. If you're working for a big company and they're trying to increase their sales, then maybe it's time to do that. But I've been an entrepreneur myself, so I just get my clients on my own. I don't really need to do that. I only need to talk to like 20 people a year. So it's like you start to feel like, oh yeah, I forgot. Like you can like do these other like moves because I'm not in the space. I'm just doing my own thing. I got what I needed, right? I learned what I needed and I got what I needed, and I'm just doing what I need to do versus what everybody else says do, because they don't understand. Um, well, or they do understand, but that's where they chose to be. Like if you're doing this, if you're doing marketing as a job, that's a lot different than doing marketing as a business owner to get like a couple clients and then you're done for the year. That's different. You know what I'm saying? Like I do this webinar, or I do this meeting or event or whatever it is I do. I'm like, yeah, I do this and then it's over. Like that's it. Like, yeah, this is all my clients for the year. I'm done. You're not really thinking about all the other stuff that goes on. 1 second. I think I have an email here. Anyways, that's pretty much the video. It's not really like a real video, but just this is how it is. This is just how life is, and it's like that because we try to focus on what matters to us, and eventually you'll start to forget. And I've been using magic for so long, I forgot about the actual like marketing of it. I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot about like this, right? You start to forget. Oh yeah, you got to use something that's going to get them to buy. You got to have bait. You got to have all this other stuff, and you're like, oh yeah. When I've been thinking about alignment the whole time, and I'm like, yeah, just bring them into alignment. You get it? That's how this stuff works. Okay. Anyway, that's it. I'm gonna go start my day. Um, gonna run some ads and let's get some money, right? I mean, there ain't shit else to do. Let's get some money. Let's kind of kick back. I'll probably hire these people. You know, I do miss hypnotizing people though. That is something I do miss. I miss all the jonesing I was doing to these guys, man. Oh man, it was so much fun, but it's not really healthy for them. But it's just so much fun. They're like about to jizz themselves every chance they get. I'm like, dang, you're barely about to jizz yourself from my ad, huh? Like, yeah. Yeah, they're just jizzing all over the place, man. Jizz, right? And just random. I guess I'll close out after this. It just reminded me of like things that actually make me excited. I love seeing people get into an altered state, whatever that is, right? My old partner used to say, "You like fucking with people." I was like, "Yeah, I think it's actually fun, right? Not in a bad way, but I like to see people do stuff. I like to, see them go crazy or whatever. Not like in a negative way, but like like Black Friday. Like anybody remember Black Friday? Black Friday where I was like a big line and it was so honest. It was like hysterical. Everybody's there and they're all like running over each other to go get the stuff. I'm not really sure now that I'm an adult. I'm not really sure how real that was. But imagine getting a mob of people that hysterical to go buy like toys. It's like, man, like you're really going to go buy a TV. Now the TVs are so readily available, you're actually missing out on all the fun of the fake scarcity that used to be there. We only have 5 TVs, and you got to let them run across each other. Not. I don't want anybody to get hurt, but it's just things. Those are things that entertain me and that make me excited, right? I remember one time. I'll tell this last story, and then I'm done. Okay. One time, my old partner, we went to this Ron LeGrand presentation, and then Ron was talking about real estate or whatever. I mean, at this time, I kind of knew what was going on to a degree, but wasn't really fully aware because of the marketing stuff. And it's like there's so much gaslighting and manipulation that happens sometimes, not with Ron, but just in general, that you really never get a chance to figure out what you're really looking at sometimes, right? And anyways, so we get there. It was me, him, and my friend Malcolm. And I'm having a great time. Oh, this other guy that was supposed to be there too. This guy crashed into a bunch of cars or something like this. Oh my gosh, right? And he was like drunk, but nobody ever knew he was like a drunk. But anyways, it was really crazy. It was really crazy because I thought something else, but it's just you just really never know who people are sometimes, right? And you think that people are cool, but they're just weird. Anyways, Ron's there. He's doing his presentation. He's doing his he's doing his live webinar in person, whatever, right? Because we're all sitting there in a room and he's talking about how to buy houses with no money down and how he's did it in the past and how we can do it too and blah, blah, blah. And then he has his break time, which is basically where he starts to throw around shirts and he's throwing around, it's like whatever, like random, like whatever it is, we know whatever they do give away, like pens and paper and like whatever goofy stuff, whatever. Ron's tall, man. He's tall. He's a cool dude, right? So I'm like me and my partner were just kind of sitting there laughing and smiling or whatever, and because I'm like really happy because I got a chance to meet Ron, and because he's bringing me into alignment. You get it? And anyways, Ron throws one of his shirts like this, right? So he's like Trump at the Puerto Rico thing where they try to get the water, or whatever, where they're trying to basically get like paper towels or whatever it is, and Ron's throwing the stuff. He's like doing this, right? And I'm like laughing, and I'm watching all the people do. Oh my gosh, he's throwing shirts, right? And they're like, oh my god, they're like fighting over his shirt and stuff a little bit. I was like, oh my god, this is great. And he really never liked manipulation and stuff like that, so he thought it was like stupid and annoying. He's like, you like this shit, huh? I was like, yeah, it's like great, man. It's funny because to watch people go in that much of a frenzy for a shirt. Oh my god, that's so beautiful. Yes. Why? And it's I just like that. I like seeing people come into alignment. That's what it is. Even though it's like it's not really healthy to do that. It's just a shirt, but it's still exciting, right? The person is getting what they want. That's help thinking something that's going to help them get further to reality than the actual information. Anyways, they fight over the shirt, and then the shirt comes over here, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna grab a shirt. The guy next to me tries to hurry up and grab it, and I'm like, okay. I'm like, do you want the shirt? He's like, yeah, I want the shirt. I was like, come on, man, you don't really need that. He's like, yeah, I do, man. I was like, come on, man. Like, come on, man. I really came down here. I just came from seeing my kids, man. They want a shirt, man. Nah, man, I got a family, man. I got a family, and I'm just fucking with the guy. I'm fucking with him obviously because I don't really care about the damn shirt, right? It's a shirt. I can make a shirt, but to him means more than that, and I wanted to see how much it meant to him. So I'm just like, come on, man, like, come on, like, what do you need? How much do you need for this shirt, man? Because I came here from all the way from, I think we came from Philly or whatever. You came all the way from Philly to go here, and come on, man. He's like, well, I'm from Georgia. I'm from Georgia, man. I'm from Georgia. I'm like, so, like, I mean, like, well, do you really want the shirt that bad? Yeah, man. I want to. I tell you what, I give you $50 for it. He's like, 50. I was like, yeah, I gave $50 right now. No, man, no, 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 no. Okay, what about 100? I'll give you $100 for that shirt right now. Nah, man, I gotta keep it. I'm sorry, man. I need it. I need it. I'm like, you need a shirt? It's a shirt. He's like, yeah, yeah, I need it, man. Come on, when I want to wear it around the house or something. I was like, oh, okay. So if you tell me if I give you $500 right now, you would not give me the shirt? Nah, man. I just want to keep the shirt. I want to keep it. I was like, okay, do the thing. That's when I'm already satisfied. I'm satisfied. Okay, okay. And I told my partner at the time, he just couldn't believe it. She's like, he wouldn't give you a shirt for $500. I'm like, nah, man. He just really loved the shirt. And we're playing the game, and I'm like laughing and having a great time. He probably hated it because he really hated the fact that I was like that because I still am like that. I'm still gonna, I'll fuck with you if not anymore. I'm an adult now, but it's still funny. It's like I've talked about enough shit on here, talk about Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny or whatever, just laughing at the shit. Like people think WWE is real, and it's like, how did you like the show? And it's like, it was good, man. It was. Could you believe Rikishi bombed him? It's like, I know. Oh my gosh. And I like people. I like seeing people happy and seeing them. But sometimes I try to see how happy, how like okay, you really like this fucking shirt, don't you? Like, damn. And great. It was just so good, man. Just seeing people go into a frenzy, man. It's just insane. You know, it's almost like they're basically in a hypnotic state at that point. At that point, they're like brainwashed, and it's like, wow, this is how deep it goes. Huh? It's just a shirt, but at the end of the day, but it means something to them so much that they're hypnotized, and it's like, man, I bet you would pay anything right now to be successful, which is nothing wrong with it, but it's just like, damn, and it's enjoyable to watch. You know, if you can create that in your business, sometimes it's like it's pretty nice. You get a limited edition something, or you have some kind of event or something, and you just don't have enough on purpose, and you just let people fight over it. It's like, yeah, why? Because that's the point of business. That's like the entire point. They make people feel special. They want to feel like they did something. Because it's not really about the product. It's not about the shirt. It's about him feeling special about himself and that he won. He's probably gonna go home and tell it. He probably went home and tell his whole family or whatever. I got this shirt. This guy offered me $500, and I said no. And they're probably all looking at him like, It's a damn sure, right? Like, but to him, it's more than that. It's about who he is. It's about what he represents. And these are the things that unfortunately excite me. So anyway, the point is that I forgot more about this stuff because it's not really a point in like doing it because you're just it's better just to help people come into alignment and do the right thing. It's a lot easier to do that and it's healthier, but the unhealthy way is like pretty entertaining. It's pretty entertaining. Okay. Not saying the drinking and stuff like that, but just like those little stupid stuff like this, right? The shirt, the um the Black Friday, also basically people possibly getting over to a fight at Robin, what's up, man? Good morning. You're right. It's like when you mentioned people going through government Dan trash for no, yeah, it was Dan Kennedy's trash, yeah. So like, this is the kind of things like that you want to like sprinkle in your business because it helps. It helps. Like even I do it by accident. I'm not doing it on purpose, but I just do it by accident. I'm like, oh, I'm hiding my videos. I'm sorry if you missed it. Then you missed it. It's like, dang, I missed it. I know that my mother effer, he's giving all this free stuff and he's missing it. It's like, I'm sorry, I got to, because I actually do have to. But sometimes, it's okay to manufacture some of that stuff, right? Right. Dan Kennedy, he's known for that. He's known for like telling people he's going to die. He's like, oh, this might be my last time you see me. I may not come out the house again because I'm sick or something. They'll look through his trash to go find some secret notes. There's no secrets. I mean, there is a lot. Actually, there is. Actually, there are secrets to be like there are, but it's not really a secret. It's just information that's well hidden, and it's just about fucking with people. Basically, it's just the same thing. It's like being popular, being cool, being special, being important, and that people just don't really understand what's going on. Is essentially magic. That's what it is. It's magic, and it's just fucking with people, and there's nothing really wrong with it per se, as long as it's not harming anybody. But it's like, it's not really healthy, even though they're going to do it anyway. So you're better off just kind of enjoying it. It's the same thing as like when you're spending time with your girl or something, and she has on a show, and you just showed up with some snacks or something, and she's like, "What's that?" I'm like, "Nothing. Don't worry about it." Like, what do you mean? Don't worry about it. I decided to go to the store, grab myself something. It's like, what do you mean I grab? You get it. So it's a playful thing. It's not really doesn't have to be a negative thing. So, but some people do it the negative way, but it's not really good to negative. But I like that. I like seeing people happy. I like playing around. I like to play. Essentially, I like to play. I like to have fun. Um, as long as you're doing it in a healthy way, it's fine. But I start to forget, right? Like I was telling one of my clients the other day. Or I'm sorry, I mentee the other day. I was like, yeah, sometimes you got to guilt trip people a little bit. Just guilt trip them a little bit when they want to fire you. Like they should feel bad about letting you go. Like I want people to feel bad about not working with me a little bit, right? Why? I mean, I think it's funny, right? Like, come on, man. I thought you had it, or I thought you did. Come on. Like yeah, you just fuck with them, man. Because I mean, there's nothing else to do, really. I mean, when you really think about it, this is really all I got. So like, but ultimately, I forgot more about this stuff than I actually remember because I was going through what is this book? Eugene Schwartz's breakthrough marketing book. And you can learn these books and you can learn all these techniques and stuff in the book, but it's really just connecting with people and you know like I would have used a lot more of these moves at the job if I knew better, right? When I was at my job. So I'd have been like, yeah, man, oh, they're doing it. Oh my gosh, no, no, and brought food in and bribed everybody. I would have been doing everything possible, man, because it's like it's a whole smorgasbord of opportunity to do things like that, to create fake scarcity. People don't even know what's going on. They're just walking in the office. Hey, there's only like 10 donuts in there. Everybody took the rest, but really I took out the donuts and they don't really know. So it's like they come in, oh shit, what the fuck? I got the way. Right? So it's like little stuff like that, and this gets people excited and it gets them fun, and now they have something to talk about later. They're like, yeah, I beat you. I beat you to the thing. And my partner, he really hated I was like that, man. He was so he was so straightforward and a straight shooter. He's just like, this shit is just fucking messed up, because he don't like really being manipulated. But that's just how it is. It's stupid. You know, you're not supposed to do it with each other, but you're supposed to do it with others. I'm like, come on, man, let's do it. You know, he doesn't really, he really wasn't really feeling it. You know, but anyways, I like doing that, and it's fun. And but you can do these things at your job. You want to be careful, obviously, right? But you know, you treat one person, the other person gets a little mad. It's just a little stupid shit like that. Basically, it's like, okay, oh, maybe you should have did this, or maybe you should give me some PTO. I'm just saying. You know, how did everybody get a gift? I mean, some people decide to take me good. Some people decide to treat me good, man. Other people, they wait. What did I just say? Nothing. I didn't say anything. Some people do this, you know. It's like, what's happening right now? Exactly. What is going on? I don't. That's the point. Nobody knows what's going on because I'm just making the shit up, and basically people don't know, and it's like it's funny. The shit gets funny after a while, right? So it's like eventually they'll be like, just anything. It could be anything, man. But I like that. I like surprising people. I like making them feel good about themselves. Them seeing little gifts. Oh wow, you got me this. It's like Christmas. It's like Christmas, you know. People like, did I get a gift? Nah, I ain't get a gift. And you just walk in the back room. Oh, you know, that's the whole point. It's fun, you know. It's like you having these moments where you're just enjoying life. That's what this is what it's about. But if it's so straightforward all the time, you're missing the whole point. Missing the point of the shirt. It's not about the shirt. It's about the opportunity to be into alignment with the shirt. And that guy was not willing to give up his shirt for $500. And I mean, he's probably never going to be successful, but he'll feel good. He'll feel really good about his decision. And this is part of life, right? So, anyways, so yeah, so you're probably going to forget more than you actually remember, but it's important to enjoy the ride and enjoy the things you do learn, because you'll still be able to pick up the data. You just won't think about it on the spot. You're like, damn, how do I take care of this? And then it'll pop in your head like, oh yeah, okay, and then you'll remember. But otherwise, you're not really going to remember. I've been doing magic in this astrology stuff so long now, to the point where it's been like, well, it's like 4 or 5 months. I'm starting to forget marketing stuff. I'm like, what is marketing? It's just really having conversations, you know. But I was like, oh yeah, I forgot about hypnosis. I forgot about mirroring. I forgot about like all this stuff. Dang, I've been looking up way too much like regular people stuff, which is like astrotheology, synchronism. These are things that people like need to be better people. I'm already a nice person. Like I'm already a good person, but I still want to know what people are looking at, why they're looking at, and the reason why they're looking at it. And I'm like, okay, like this is interesting. He tells somebody, yeah, what is it, astrology or something? Like, yeah, I do. And now I'm gonna reach your future. It's like, what the fuck? You can? Yes, I can. Yeah. I dated a woman who really didn't want to lose weight, but she enjoyed the process. Yep, fake buying food, working out, buying workout clothes. I started feeding into it. She could have lost weight in 2 months, but she wanted to do it the fake way. So it took 7 months. She was happier that way. Yeah, exactly. That's how it is sometimes. That's just how it is. You got to be comfortable letting people just be happy, right? But you got to be like, you can't stop yourself. You know, you keep doing the real thing for yourself, but, you know, let them do it the fake way. Make them feel better about themselves. You know, there's some people that's like, I just started my LLC. And it's like, okay, good. It's like, okay. What the fuck is going on here? Right? But you don't, but they don't know. And that's okay. You know, excuse me. Sorry. Man, I'm like getting over this sickness right now. It's almost over. Probably done next week. But like that's how it is, man. You know, that's how it is, and it's okay. There's nothing wrong with it. This is just the world, man. Is let people come to their own discoveries over time, and when they're ready for the truth, they'll ask for it. Well, since you asked, there's really this super secret method that you can actually drop weight within 2 months. Really? Oh my gosh, seriously? Yeah, but it's like really intense. Nah, you know, you're probably not even interested. I'll talk to you about another. Wait. Oh. It's fun. It's fun. Just it's basically just having fun, man. Oh, you want to? Oh, well, my stomach's feeling a little empty at the moment. Really? What do you want to? I don't know. I think I'll have some steak and some. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I'm suddenly forgetting how to do it. I don't know. Get it. It's okay to play. They're like, come on, man, come on. Okay, okay, okay. I'll show you, but it's gonna cost you. All right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's. I like to do that. I like to just fuck with people a little bit. It's a little fun sometimes, right? When it's okay. In a business setting, it's not really like the best thing because the person's ready to buy. But you can still like do it, but it's just different. Okay, it's different. You can do it in different settings versus different things, but it's just basically like just setting up the stuff, and it's just fun. Nothing really wrong with it per se. You know, there's nothing really wrong with it. It's just, oh man, here we go. Yeah, he loved playing around. Here we go. What do you mean? What do you mean? You know. Anyways, that's the video. So I'll probably end up forgetting more than I actually remember, and like also too, when you're in different identities or different versions of yourself, you're not really going to be able to get the data. I'm in like business version right now. Okay, this is, oh yeah, good point on the receptors. What do you mean receptors topic? I don't remember. I'm not sure you remember, but or reciprocators. I'm not sure what you mean. So yeah, like I have to like also when you're in the different identities, you basically have to do certain things. So right now I'm in business mode. So in business mode, I'm more about like putting people out of business. And then when I'm in marketing mode, it's all about like the stuff I like to do, which is like fluffing around and doing all the silly stuff. Okay. So but the data is not going to come. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot. You could just hold the mirror up the entire time and just do this or do that or whatever. I just forgot. I'm like, damn, I forgot all about this stuff. I forgot all about it, man. Like, dang, I've been looking at the black sun and Jupiter was moon and Mercury and shit too long. Something about the guy jumping in when you had a similar solution at your old job. It's about a guy jumping in. Okay, well, I'm not really sure, but it's okay. Yeah, man. But yeah, I mean, pretty much that's just how this stuff goes. It's just you're gonna forget more than you remember, so it's really important that you take action eventually because you'll start to forget this stuff. You're like, damn, I forgot. Like, you know all this stuff, but you got to do something with it, right? You're gonna have to have some fun with it. You know, just life is not really that hard if you know what you're doing, but you just got to know what you're doing. The part is that nobody actually knows what they're doing. Nobody knows. I finished it up with this. I think I was reading this guy's post, and he's a financial guru. I hate his channel. I hate this guy's channel. I used to watch him, and people who do watch him don't know shit, basically, because they're watching him. If you're watching a guy like that, you're watching people tell you put your money in the stocks and stuff like this. You're just wasting your time, man. Like because it's not really what it's about. It's about getting free and making money and being happy and stuff like that, right? It's not about putting it in some stupid investment account and just waiting like 50 years. Like, what the fuck is that? Okay, but that's what he's selling, and people believe it, right? Anyways, he said that 6%. I'm sorry, 54% of people in the country read read at a sixth grade level. That's known. That's known as copywriters. Yeah, most people read at a sixth grade level. Why did they need that? Like, the real question is that people were like, wow, that sucks and that's messed up. The real reason is, why do they need to read above a sixth grade level? Like, what reason do you actually have to read above? Go pick up this item. Go to the store. Go grab this. Go eat this. Like, what reason do you have to really have a better vocabulary than that? Actually, like I'm being serious here. Like, serious too. You don't. You don't need it. You just you go to your job. You go home. Like, what do you really need here to know all these words? This paper towel is the exemplary force of magnificence, and you get it. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Is it good or not? Yes. Okay. That's it. Right. That's it. It's just good, right? Like, yeah. All right. It's over. What else do you need to know about it? Oh, it's like, but it's from the mountains and the. Like, come on, man. Right. So the point of me saying that is you got to be careful of what people are saying sometimes. And if they want to know more, they will. They're probably interested in other things like sex and TV and sports and stuff, which is fine. Nothing wrong with that. That's what they like. Then let them watch it. Okay, make it fun for them. That's the whole point of this thing. Make it fun for them. Make it fun. Have, oh wow, will you believe what Kyrie Irving did on the sports yesterday? What did he do? He slam dunked. I mean, he does that like every week, right? Like, you can't say that. Like, oh wow, did he? Wow. Yeah, man, he did a boom. Wow. And then what did he say on the press conference? Man, he said his mom didn't even give him a chance to grow up. No. Really? Oh, wow. Oh, man. Damn, I can't wait to watch with you later. Okay. You're going to have food, right? You're going to have something I don't have to pay for, right? Like, yeah, okay. I'll be right over. Just sit there. I wouldn't actually sit there. I wouldn't go over, to be clear, but somebody would. So somebody would go there and entertain that, but I wouldn't. I'd be like, oh, I just something came up, I'm sick. Something. I gotta hang up by. Something, anything, right? Just to get out of there, right? I'm not watching that. I sit there. I mean, that's why this stuff is like so motivating. That's why people need motivation, man, because their lives are just is tough because they don't really know what's going on. And it's not because they can't read. Okay? It's not because they can't read. It's because they don't know what the fuck's going on. It's like, what the fuck's going on? You're being literally brainwashed and dumbed down like to oblivion. That's why. So what's he supposed to do for him? It's like, come on, man. You wanna have what do they call it? A friendsgiving? I mean, is it like good friends or is like the point I'm trying to make here is that everybody thinks you need to know everything. You don't. If you want to be an expert, yeah, you're going to want to learn. Okay. You're going to want to learn and you're going to want to have fun while you're doing it. And you're going to want to be around good people. And, you don't have to know everything. You just need to know enough. Right. And I forget this stuff. Sometimes I feel like I'm dumb. I'm like, am I like stupid? Like, how can people know this shit? Like this, let's listen to this astrotheology people. They're talking about numbers and where the numbers root from and the Latin words and the rhymes and phonetics and stuff. I'm like, what is wrong with you? Why do you even know these things, right? Which it matters, but why? Who invented this bullshit to make it this complex for nothing? Like, why? Why did you mean just be a good person? Yeah. This whole thing's about not giving into your carnal urges and being a bad person. I mean, couldn't we have saved all the scriptures and the verses for that? But then you realize, okay, well, nobody really can read. So we have to like tell these stories because basically nobody can read. It's like, oh, okay, so it wasn't for, so basically it's not really for you. It's not for people who are actively like knowing things and thinking things. It's for people who don't know shit, which is okay. It's okay that they don't know. That's the whole point why we're around in the first place. To make their lives a little bit better and get them excited. It's like, okay, well, what do you need today? Now we have two guys in a car and they're going to wrestle each other. And it's like, okay, yeah. Okay. That's how it goes, right? Let me bring that up real quick. Car jujitsu, and then we're closing out. So for people who think you can't make money doing stuff, I want you to check this out. Car jujitsu. Okay, Hajime
immediately defends his seatbelt, but Leroy. Hajime. And we're started. Q Dave.
That's always my favorite. Hajime. We gotta make it seem more intense than what it is, And I think this is the guy that made this. He's what's his name? Don't remember. I think he's the UFC guy. This is one of his companies that he paid for, and this is what they do. They sit in the car. Look how serious and intense they are too, man. They sit in the car and they go basically, fight to the.
And we're started. Q Davidson immediately defends his seatbelt, but Leroy gets it unbuckled first and is now in mount. Q has his seatbelt all the way around the carotid. Leroy Davidson prides himself on
basically
fast
fucking choke each other out in the car.
Chokes, and it looks as if that's his plan. Oh, he's in a bad spot. Q Davidson is completely cut off from.
Imagine What the freak?
Oxygen. He's got Leroy Davis in his lap in the passenger seat, and this, my friends, looks like a crime in progress. Oh, and somehow Q Davidson has removed the seatbelt from his throat, and he slid a knee in to create some space here. He needs to get out.
It's funny because you somehow can't punch this person. But look at this. Like, what are we really watching here?
From under Leroy Davis, who has got the seatbelt,
and people pay for this,
against his throat again. Leroy Davis, very creative, very inventive, and at Car Jitsu Championship, he calls himself the seatbelt assassin. Q Davidson is very wily. He's hard to submit, but it's been done, and this is the
tapped out. Ain't even get started, man. Ain't even get started, man. Come on, man. Look at this. Ready? Look out. See, one thing about black people, man. Black don't crack. Don't always bet on black, man. Look at this. Look at him, man.
And
woo! Look how fast he is.
Started. Q Davidson immediately defends his seat, but Leroy gets it unbuckled.
Come on, man. How's your man? I don't want nothing to pop up weird. I don't know why Car Jiu-Jitsu didn't pop up. Car Jiu-Jitsu. How's your man? There's actually like one more other sport, which I think is funny. Weird sports. Okay. There's other like championship games and stuff like this, right? There's actually the cleaning Olympics. That's what I'm on. Cleaning Olympics. I just would have punched that dude, man. I would be like, nah, F the rules. They ain't gonna get on me like that. Oh my gosh. Can't do anything on here, man. Hold on. Let's see here. Okay, good. This is a good one. Okay, this is what people do with their spare time, okay? And there's nothing really wrong with it, per se. We all have our own thing. If you're in business, you got to find opportunities to keep people entertained. And this is like one of those things. They all go there and they're all racing up. I'm like, I'm number one. Don't forget who's number one. Don't forget who's number one, okay? You're number 4. All right? See? It said, he's all in mile. He prides himself on having him in his lap. Yeah, exactly. The seatbelt assassin. Oh gosh, you gotta love it, right? So now what we need is backstories, right? We need backstories. We need motivation. We need, like, who is this really for that he's fighting for? I've been fighting for my kids, and this is really going to change our lives because after I punch this mother effer or whatever it is, my kids get to eat, right? Like that's the thing that they're actually missing on a lot of the promos now. They're missing a lot of the emotional connection and the hype. People are not really emotionally connecting with things anymore. They're just showing up and watching, and they're showing up and doing all this stuff, which this is why you need to understand alignment, which is like the real thing. But all the techniques are surrounding alignment. Alignment is just a word for all the techniques and put into one as a natural process of having something irresistible that you cannot resist, right? That's the point of being magnetic, isn't it? Right? Anyway, that's it. I'm going to go handle business today. I'm going to go grow this business. Get some clients, I guess. The same shit I always do. Make some sales calls. It's over, man. Anyway, that's it. I'll see you guys.